What's up, everybody? You're tuned in to the Cris Style
And Mal.
Podcast, episode 95, Big Energy Monday. Hope everybody's having a good Monday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you're doing, whether you're at work, you're at home, you're out and about, whatever you're doing, you're listening to us. We appreciate it, first of all. And we hope you're having a good day. We have a lot of things to talk about. We're going to talk about this ESPN Top 100 Athletes list. We're going to get into maybe the Sixers moving to New Jersey. Tank and Loma might not, it's not happening now, and other things too. So without further ado, let's get to it. And we are back. Cris Style and Mal podcast, episode 95, Big Energy Monday. Mal, what is going on?
Man, not much, bro. Just getting off of this cold, man. Feeling better, bro. So I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good, brother. Can't complain, man. Just, got through doing my cheese pod. Now I'm on here.
How was that? I'm sure y'all hyped up the, fucking goddamn video I keep seeing of Patrick Mahomes throwing to Xavier Worthy and stuff.
Not at all. Not at all,
Oh,
sir.
man, no.
We waiting for the pads to come on, sir.
Oh, okay.
We're more contrite than that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, are you? Are y'all?
Yes.
Are y'all?
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
All right.
That's for the casual fans out there that want, that don't deep dive like we do. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. For sure.
All right, bro. Let's get into these topics. Hold on. Bam, let me do that. All right. Let's talk about ESPN Top 100 Athletes. This is from 2000 up until now.
Yeah.
So, if you feel like somebody was not on this list from like the 90s, that's because it's not from the 90s. Where's that? Right here. All right, so I'm just gonna, name a few. I ain't about to go through the whole top 100.
No.
We ain't got time for all that. But I will say the top 10. Number one, I had Michael Phelps. Number two, they had Serena Williams. Number three, they had Messi. Number four, they had LeBron James. Five, they had Tom Brady. Number six, they had Roger Federer. At seven, they had Simone Biles. Eight, they had Tiger Woods. At number nine, they had Usain Bolt. And number 10, they had Kobe Bryant. I'll name a few other ones. They had Novak Djokovic at 11, Rafael Nadal at 12, uh, Ronaldo at 13, Stephen Curry at 14, Katie Ledecky at 15, Tim Duncan at 16, Shaquille O'Neal at 17, Patrick Mahomes at 18, Lewis Hamilton at 19, Aaron Donald at 20.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about this list, sir?
I'm not too mad about it. There are a couple names that I think that should be higher. I low key think Floyd Mayweather should be a little bit higher for me. I think he should be at least top 15, maybe close to the top 10 for just look, man, you may not have liked the way I guess he went about when he fought these fighters, but at the end of the day, he did fight a lot of elite talent. Okay, we didn't get the fight that we didn't get the Pacquiao fight when we wanted it, but we still got the Pacquiao fight, and he dominated a lot of these cats. He dominated the young Canelo, you know what I mean? He dominated. Obviously, the Pacquiao fight was, it was up in the air for the most part, but we all thought he won that fight. He had a couple scares, but on top of that, just the outside of what he did with boxing, man, just the type of businesses he was able to get, the stardom of it, the undefeated record. You have a lot of athletes who who kind of like idolize him, especially the newer boxers. He does beef with some, with Tank Davis, of course of that. But a lot of these fighters do take a lot from what Mayweather has done. Roger Mayweather was one of the best, I think, trainers out there. I think he should be a little bit higher. But with Michael Phelps, man, I'm not surprised, man. He was one of the most dominant Olympic athletes of all time. I think it's well deserved, man. Added to the list, Serena Williams, congratulations to her being at number 2. Some people might have had her at number 1, but number 2 is nothing to sneeze at, especially on the likes of this list from the early 2000s. She'll be high if this was the early 90s as well. If we start getting early 90s, then I get it. People are like, yo, where's Mike and all that? As you said, this is just from the 2000s till now. What I mean? So you ain't got to get all run out of shape. I know a lot of people would assume I'm a big Kobe lover, that I would want Kobe higher than LeBron James, but in reality, you can't. I still think Kobe Bryant is the better player overall, but with LeBron James's accolades, the length of his career, he's still putting up great numbers, still putting up MVP like performances and stuff like that. You have to put him higher in the sense of just what he's done with his career for the game. So overall, man, I'm not really mad at this list. You can nitpick at everything, honestly, personal preferences and stuff like that. But overall, man, it's not too bad. I'm not going to really trip over it too much.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I don't have no problem with this list. The only problem I have is like, here's the thing: comparing athletes who do solo stuff to a player who's more team oriented. I kind of want to know how they differentiate the two. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yep.
If you're a football player, you know what I'm saying, you got to operate within a system.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of how talented you are, you still have to operate in a system. And if you're a quarterback, if your offensive line was terrible, or your running back is terrible, your receivers are bad, like how
Yeah.
do you know what I'm saying? But you were still able to perform greatness, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's hard to determine from a Michael Phelps where everything is solely on him. He doesn't have no determining factors other than if he gets a cramp in his thigh or gets an injury or something like that. Same thing with Serena Williams, and even you mentioned in Floyd Mayweather, it's just him going against the other boxers. So, because in basketball, even basketball is a team sport. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Even though LeBron James and some of the great players, Kobe could just went off for 40 and put the team on his back. At the end of the day, it's a team sport, and you still have to get the best with the guys around you. So that's the only thing about this list where I'm like, how do you? And then there are some football players I think could have been on this. I think Gronk could have been on this list.
He could have. He could have. I wouldn't have been mad at that. If you also look at it, not to cut you off, there's other names on here that are lower that I believe that should be higher. Likes of like Clayton Kershaw, I think he should be higher, but we all know what his performances in the playoffs were. Kevin Durant, I think he should be higher. He has the talent to be in the top 10, maybe even top 5 of all time, but just with the inconsistencies he's had in the playoffs, and the only thing that people like to establish him with as far as anything championship materials with Steph Curry and that Warriors team, and he gets some slights for that, for just how overall dominant that team was, just with the access that they had. We will never see anything like that with that group of talent. Those are just some of the names that you look on this list that should be a lot higher. You know what I'm saying? Some people can, potentially talk about maybe Barron Bonds should be maybe the highest player on this list as far as baseball players. If you want to just look at it individually through just sports, I think you could have more of a conversation on like maybe there's some names that should be higher than the ones that are at the top. You know what I mean? As far as like, the peak level of that sport, whichever they may have landed on that list. You know what I mean? Maybe one of these days we can go really in depth in some lists like this. You know what I mean? I know we have other topics we got to discuss, but you could find so many lanes in these top 100 lists that potentially just keep coming out that that we keep receiving that none of us really asked for, but we're going to keep getting them anyway, because I think it's a healthy conversation. It starts like a good barbershop talk, which I'm all for it, man. I think this is a healthy conversation. Nothing like this should ever demean anybody. I don't think any athlete should ever be mad at lists like this, because you know how many athletes that are developed in the world today, and for you to make even just to be in, even if you're just the 100th person in this top 100, you should be honored in that. You know what I mean? Because your career meant something to be on this top 100 list for you to be recognized. So, but you know, I get it. People are going to be, you know, eccentric and you know find the little nooks and crannies of every conversation.
Right. Right. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, outside of what I said, I had no problem with this list. Um, it's just I would like to get a few of the people who made this list. How did they
No,
differentiate themselves?
absolutely.
You know what I'm
How do you
saying?
feel about Patrick Mahomes being at where he was at?
No, I think that's right. I think that's right. For what he's done at his young age, he's still playing. You know what I'm saying? And if he, gets a couple more championships, I could very well see him moving up on this list. Once his career is over, I can definitely see him moving up the list. You know what I'm saying? If he gets an
Mhm.
MVP and a championship or whatever, he'll definitely move up. Closer to the top 10. But for
Yeah.
right now, 18 is fine. That's fine.
Yeah, and then you know, obviously looking at this list, man, you know, it hurts my soul that we don't have not one Raider player on this list. You know what I'm saying? It just shows like, you know, if I'm gonna be personal right here. Yeah, it hurts. Like I do have a couple Lakers on here with Shaq and Kobe. You know, some of my Laker you know, love is on this list, but it does hurt my soul a little bit not to see any Raiders players at least from 2000 on not making this list, man. I think Max Crosby has the potential to make this list, you know, as this list goes forward, if they decide to do a 25 to, you know, 50. But yeah, man, just shows our inconsistencies that we have been as a franchise and trying to get talent, you know what I mean? So that does suck. That does hurt a little bit.
I think Travis Kelsey should be on this list.
You think Travis Kelsey should be on this list? Why do you think Travis Kelsey should be on this list? And where would you put him at if that's the case?
He ain't gotta be top. You know what I'm saying? He be in the 50s and 60s for
You
his
so
team.
you want him over Ronaldinho? You want him over Asia Wilson, Rory McIlroy, Aaron Rodgers? And those are in the 90s.
Just saying, 3
Mm.
titles. The consistency that he's had at tight end, nobody's ever done it.
You think that has more to do with Patrick Mahomes or himself?
Well, he was doing it with Alex Smith. He's putting them numbers with Alex Smith now.
Mhm. I'm just asking the question, brother. Any Chiefs fans, you know, I'm just asking the questions, man.
I
You know,
just think, I mean, and you heard me. I made the argument that Rob could be on there too. So
who?
Rob Gronkowski. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
Rob. Who? All right. Who do you think deserves it more, Rob Gronkowski or Travis Kelce? If you had to put one.
I mean, that's hard to say because what are we basing it off of? Are we basing it off consistency? Then I got to give it to Travis Kelsey.
Rob Gronkowski, I would think Rob was pretty consistent in his career.
He was, but injuries derailed his career.
I understand that. I understand that. But when he was at his peak,
He was great,
probably
and that's
say
why I say he should be on the
you probably
list.
say he was better than Travis at the time. You know what I'm saying? You probably could say that.
Apples to oranges.
It would be a Chiefs fan to give me the apples or oranges lingo. Come on, man. Come on. Look, man, I know you're gonna fight for your boy, bro. I respect it, man. You know, I get it. You know, I
Hey,
get it.
look at that. I ain't saying the man should be top. Should be
No,
on
no,
the
no.
list.
You said 60. I'm reading the names going up to 60, and it's like, all right, you got him
I
past
think
Venus
he should be over.
Williams.
I do have him over Asia Wilson. I'm just saying.
You would have him over Asia Wilson. I think that's
Mhm.
asinine. I would have him. I
I
don't
don't
think
think it's
Kawhi
that's
Leonard should
enough.
be as high. That's me. He's 85. I could see Travis Kelsey being over Kawhi Leonard. I could see that. He should like Chris Paul at 83. I think that's crazy. Asia Wilson should be higher than Chris Paul. Travis Kelsey should be in it if Chris Paul is 83.
I think Jason Kidd is on the list.
Andy Murray. I would probably have Travis Kelsey over Andy Murray. Bryce Harper, Bernard Hopkins. So you would put him in the Bernard Hopkins area
Mhm.
with George St. Pierre and Lisa Leslie, Mookie Betts, Sean White, Manny Pacquiao area. You would put Travis Kelsey in that.
That's fine. You put him in that area.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I'm
fine.
gonna be honest. If Chris Paul is on this list, Travis Kelsey should be on this list. Rob Gronkowski should be on this list, and Asia Wilson should be a lot higher than where she's
Yeah.
at. If you got Chris Paul at 83, I think that's crazy. No offense, Chris Paul, you are the point guard. No one's denying that conversation. You're one of the best point guards ever. But as far as accolades, my brother, there are a lot of players, and I get it. If you look at Chris Paul, he did have to go through. He did bring up New Orleans. I mean, when they first came to New Orleans, he did establish that and turn them into a prominent franchise. Obviously, we don't know. We had that trade with him and Kobe. I do believe if him, Kobe, and Powell were together when that trade would have gone down, if it wasn't for David Stern, being David Stern, I think he would have had the title. Obviously, we got to think about the situations with him and what he had to go through with the Clippers and Donald Sterling's situation. They were one of the favorites. You got to remember, they were one of the favorites to come out the West at that time. They had a really dominant team with Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, and all them. And unfortunately, they lost to I think it was the Warriors in the second round. So, I get it. Chris Paul, I'm trying to be fair with him, but at the same time, I think it's kind of crazy that he's 83 and ahead of some of these names that are in the 90s right now. And then I agree with you. Like, if you're gonna put him in there, you have to put Travis Kelce, you have to put Rob Gronkowski in this kind of category. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and then with Tom Brady, and I get it. I love that conversation with what you said about as far as the dynamics between players that played on team sports and individual athletes. I think I agree with you. Not to repeat too much of what you said, but I really would love to know what the thought process was. I would love to see like a behind the scenes council like documentary on how they put these lists together and what were the criteria and where they put them at and stuff like that. I mean, how much they weighed certain things compared to others, and I think that would be a good documentary to see.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Let's talk about college football. College football, Big 12 conference preview.
Yeah.
Uh, Now, this is the conference with Colorado and Kansas and K State, Oklahoma State, Utah, just to name a few.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the name of this conference is Colorado. Everybody, all eyes are going to be on Colorado this season because of Shador Sanders, um, Troy Hunter or Travis Hunter, and what they do this season. Did they get him? Did they improve in the trenches this year?
Yeah.
Um, they went 4-8 last year. They
Mm-hmm.
had a hot start, and then towards the tail end, they kind of came back down to reality and lost quite a few games. Kansas is looked at as a team that can make some noise and possibly make that 12-man or 12-team playoff. It's all on Jalen Daniels. Can he stay healthy? If he
Yeah.
can stay healthy, then you might have a chance over there. Devin Neal, their running back, is really good too. They got a corner named Kobe Bryant. He's really nice. He's considered a top 10 or a top, lottery pick next season. So is
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
K State, they got that quarterback Avery Bradley. I think his name is Avery Bradley. I think his name is. But K State is always a consistent 9-4, 8-5, 10, and 10-3 team, and they have a chance to make some noise in the Big 12 and possibly win this conference.
Yeah.
Um, K State is always going to be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma State, same thing. Always going to be consistent. They're always going to be in there. And then Utah, this is their first year in the Big 12, right?
Yeah, you got Utah, Arizona State,
Mhm.
a lot of new teams in the Big 12.
And Utah is always consistent wherever, when they was in the Pac-12, right?
Yeah, they were one of the scarier teams. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So they were 8-5 last year. I'm pretty sure they're gonna make some noise. You know what I'm saying
Absolutely.
this
Yeah,
season.
yeah, they're always physical.
Uh,
Hmm.
this conference is gonna be, it's gonna be competitive. It's definitely gonna be competitive. No, it's not the SEC. No, it's not that. It's not the ACC. But they're a really good company. It's all offense in the Big 12. A lot of
Yeah,
quarterbacks is gonna score 40 to 50 points in this conference. That's what this is. But I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm interested to see how Dion and them how they built this up from year one to year two. And like I said, Kansas and K State are kind of in that sweet spot to where they can, make some noise and possibly get into the playoffs. Maybe even both of them.
yeah, yeah. No, I think the Big 12. I think they added a good slate of teams compared to who they lost. I get it. You can't really replace Oklahoma and Texas. Those are just two big powerhouses that you can't replace for a big conference. So yeah, it does suck. But overall, I think what they did to replace those teams, I think they did really good enough. I think this is going to be an exciting year for Big 12 as far as like the explosiveness we'll see on the offensive side. You won't see too much of defensive play. I think you'll get it from Utah, Kansas State, maybe UCF. You know what I mean? But as far as like Colorado, I'll start right off with Colorado. Obviously, they have the two Heisman hopefuls and Travis Hunter and Shador Sanders and Deion Sanders. That's going to be pretty much the star spotlight of the whole entire conference. They did add a lot of really good transfers out of the portal. We got to still see on the depth side of that squad. How much depth did they add? Did they fix the O line? They did lose Dylan Edwards, I believe, the running back to Kansas State, which will be huge. You know what I mean? We got to see how that running back room looks. We got to see how the defense holds up, because that defense was probably one of the worst defenses we've seen all year long in any sport. I don't care. Batman, any boxing style, any not boxing style, any defensive style, it was worse. It was worse. It was terrible. I'm curious to see how it goes. Their schedule is pretty tough. I was looking at it. As far as like with Colorado, they have a stretch where they have to go at UCF. They're at home to Kansas State, at Arizona. That's from September 28th to October 19th. And then their whole month in November, you got at Texas State, which I get it. Texas State is explosive offense, but that is a scary place to play. We've seen Texas Tech make plenty of upsets on their home field in Lubbock. At home at Utah, we know that's going to be no slouch. That's going to be really tough. Then you go at Kansas, and your final game is at Oklahoma State. So, that's really going to be telling whether they're going to be able to make a Big 12 championship run and potentially get into the playoffs. So that November is going to be pretty hard. One of my sleepers I got is UCF. They got KJ Jefferson to transfer from Arkansas. I think that's going to be really huge. UCF is always a big problem with teams. I think defensively, for the most part, I think they're projected to be top 5 in a lot of their units. I think besides maybe special teams, but overall, I think they could be one of the surprises out of the Big 12. I expect it's really going to come down to Oklahoma State, Utah, Kansas State, as I said, UCF. Colorado, I gotta wait and see on how they look, man. But Big 12, man, it should be exciting. I would say do not sleep on Arizona. I think, with them getting their quarterback back, I think there was kind of some rumblings that he might transfer out. I think Arizona has a sleeper puncher's chance at that, at them making some noise too. And trying to make a Big 12 championship run. So it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun. A lot of these teams you expect, like TCU, I think they're kind of still rebuilding off of that championship appearance they made 2 years ago against Georgia, and I don't think they've really been the same ever since. They lost all their talent, but you expect them eventually to come back in the next couple years when they replenish all their talent. Obviously, we get the Holy War back with Utah, BYU. That should be fun for all those people up in Utah. I'm sure they're going to be going Mormon crazy up there, man, when that game goes. Yo, man, that's going to be white girl central, man. So all you brothers out there, if you want to go find you a white wife or some white girlfriend, go out there and not just the brothers, you know what I'm saying?
Dr. Umar is looking at you.
I'm messing, man. Love is love. Love is love, man. Love who you love. I'm just saying, there's some brothers out there that they love vanilla. They love vanilla. You know what I mean? That'll be the game to go to, man. I'm just saying, it's going. You know what I mean? It's gonna be looking like rush hour at the spa, just with a whole bunch of white women, man. But all jokes aside, man, I'm excited to see how the Big 12 plays out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I think I got.
Who's your championship game? Who you got? What's the championship game you got for the Big 12?
I'm gonna go. Probably Kansas versus Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State. I'm gonna go surprise. I'm gonna go UCF versus Kansas State. That's what I'm gonna do. That's gonna be my Big 12 championship.
Well, we'll see. All right, man. Let's talk about the 76ers, man. That is, I'm gonna let you lay this one up because.
So if you have not seen, there have been reports that 76ers, I guess, are trying to get a new stadium. They've been having issues with, getting funding, getting the votes correctly in the Philadelphia area. So New Jersey has been pushing, the city of New Jersey has been pushing for the 76ers to move out there. They say they have plans ready for a stadium. They say they have the funding ready to go. So they're really pushing hard to get the 76ers out to New Jersey. So just want to get your thoughts on just the whole thought process and maybe the potential of us having the New Jersey 76ers being a new franchise.
It sounds like nasty work right there. I'm not feeling it. Keep the 76ers in Philly, man. That's where it's supposed to be. What Gilly and Wallow gonna do, man?
Yeah, they're gonna be tripping, bro. I can't picture it. I can't picture it happening. To me, this is more of just like a ploy, scare ploy, to try to get the funding that they need to get whatever stadium that they want to build up. I don't know, how old is the Wells Fargo Center? I don't know. I'm not really sure, but
No.
I don't think it's gonna help. I don't think it's gonna happen, bro. I agree with you. I think if Philly if the small chance were to happen that Philly were to move to New Jersey, I think they got to change the name. I don't think they can be the 76ers. Especially, you just moved Brooklyn out of Jersey not too long ago. They moved to Brooklyn. Nah, man, just keep the 76ers in Philly. I think it's a long shot that this happens, but hey, man, politics are going to politic, man, with any situation. You kind of see it firsthand with your team, with Kansas City, and how that whole process is with, them trying to get their new stadium and all that. We all see how it's going with the A's out here in Vegas, where you're hearing the rumblings of, they have the funding, they don't have the funding. The A's are coming, or the A's are going to stay in Sacramento, or we're eventually going to get a new franchise team. It's always like that, man. It's always political, and then it turns ugly, and then eventually, if they have the money, they will find it. But we'll just see what happens and how the process plays out.
Yeah, man. Hey, shout out to my guys in 3K podcast, 3 in the Keystone podcast. They're real big 76ers fans. I hope that doesn't happen to you guys, man, because I know how much y'all love y'all 76ers, man. So, but yeah, man. Huh?
That would suck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
76ers move to New Jersey before Embiid can make it to the Eastern Conference Finals would be dirty work, bro. That would be crazy.
Yeah, I don't want to see it. The 76er Nets.
You might as well move the Eagles out there, boy. Let's move them all out there. Eagles, Flyers.
Yeah. Shout out to the homie Flanagan.
Flanagan will cuss us out, boy, for just bringing up this topic. I get it. Most Philly fans are probably like, "Y'all, these dumb motherfuckers talking about this shit."
They don't know shit.
They don't know nothing. We know.
They ain't going nowhere.
We agree with y'all. We saying we don't think that's gonna happen. So
we hope. Better come up with that money.
Facts, bud. Pay that rent, bro. Just pay it up. Pay for the renovations, bro. Just get it over with, man. Go ahead, take that tax hit like the rest of us have to.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's do our better surefire picks, man.
Yes, sir. So we know what's going on. Let me find my page. So I'm gonna make the first one fun. I got a cool little 3. So the first one, obviously, we have NBA Summer League coming to a close. I know it's kind of insane to bet on an NBA Summer League game. Trust me, I know. But we're having fun today. We're having fun. So I got the Heat +3 over the Grizzlies. So I'm gonna take that on the bet. I have Rangers money line today. And I'm gonna take a little surprise. I'm gonna take the Cubs +1.5.
For sure. I got the Dodgers over the San Francisco Giants. I'm gonna take where they at? I'm gonna take my Royals over the Diamondbacks because we on the roll, baby. Woo! And then I'm gonna take the Atlanta Braves, man.
Not mad.
Over the Cincinnati Reds. Sure. If you go to our X page or our YouTube channel, you'll see the link for the BetUs website. This is for new users or people who are new depositors, new bettors. You sign up, and the promo code you put 125. 125. what is it? Join 125. My bad. And then you get 125% sign-in bonus on your bets, your first three bets, on 10% gambler's insurance. So go ahead and go to Bettis, sign up, make you some money, man.
Yeah, please, please.
What's that? All right, man. Let's talk about the Emmys.
Yeah, let's do it, man. So obviously the Emmy nominations are out. Let me see if I can find it. I know I bookmarked it somewhere. Give me 1 second, people. All right, here we go. So all the Emmy nominations is out. You know what I mean? We have some big ones. So I'm not gonna go through all the awards, but I'll just name some of the bigger ones. So for a limited or anthology series, we have Baby Reindeer, which was on Netflix. We have Fargo. We have Lessons in Chemistry. We have Ripley, and then we have True Detective Night Country. For let's see, what was the other one? Lead actress in the limited series or movie, we have Jodie Foster in True Detective. We have Brie Larson in Lessons in Chemistry. We have Juna Tempo in Fargo. We have Sofia Vergara in Griselda. And we have Noemi Watts in Feud, Capote versus Swan. So we have that one. And a supporting actor in a limited series or movie, we have Jonathan Bailey and Fellow Travelers. We have Robert Downey Jr. and Sympathizer. We have Tom Goodman, Hill and Baby Reindeer. We have John Hawkes and True Detective Night Country. Lamorne Morris and Fargo. Lewis Pullman and Lessons in Chemistry. Trent Williams and Feud. Capote versus Swans. And let me see, where the other ones at? Yeah, man, it seems like a lot. Like Shogun got a lot of big ones. Mr. and Mrs. Smith with Donna Glover seemed like they got a lot of nominations as well. Let's see what else. The Bear seems like it got a lot of really good nominations. It's nice to see Curb Your Enthusiasm in its final year. They're in the comedy series category. Yeah, man. So what are your kind of thoughts? I don't know if you've seen the list. Do you have any favorites? Who you think is going to win? Who you got?
As far as lead actor in a drama series, hold on, let me get it. Let me let me do that. Bam. Uh, I'll probably give it to the dude from Shogun, Sonata. I'm
I
trying to
like
say
that.
Yuki Sonata. I think he'll get it. As far as lead actress, if I can just pull this up. My bad, people. Let's see. Reese Witherspoon, Jennifer Aniston. Oh no, this one's tough. I don't know about that one. That's difficult. Now, a comedy series. Let's go to comedy. Lead actor is a comedy series. It'll probably be the Jeremy Allen White kid because everybody
Yeah.
likes that bear show.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I can see him winning it this year. As far as actress goes, whew, it's a difficult one. I like Quinita Bronson from
Yeah.
Abbott from Elementary. It's a good show, but the AO girl might win it from the Bear.
Yeah, that's who I was kind of leaning for. I think the Bear is gonna kind of get a really good run. I think True Detective might get a good run as far as like awards. What do you think about the animated programming? You got Blue Eye Samurai, the Tales of the Ronin, that was on Netflix, and The Bride that's on Netflix. You have Bob's Burgers. You have Scavenger's Reign. You have The Simpsons, Night of the Living Wage, and then you have X-Men '97.
Um, I don't know. It'll probably go to X-Men 97.
Yeah, honestly, I've heard a lot of great things about X Men
Mhm.
'97, but my sleeper, I gotta say, Blue Eye Samurai. I don't know if you have not watched it. I think that's a
I
really
saw,
good animated.
I
It's
saw
really
a few
good.
episodes. Yeah, it is
It's
good.
it's really good. Storyline, the design of the characters, and just the whole atmosphere of it. I thought it was really amazing. Um, what about documentary? You have Beckham on Netflix. You have Quiet on the Set. You have Stacks, Soulsville, USA. You have Telemarketers, and then you have the Jinx.
Uh, I'll probably say Quiet on the Set.
I think it's quiet. I think it's either Quiet on the Set or the Jinx.
Mhm.
I haven't really watched any of the other ones,
Me neither.
so it's hard for me to say. But if I had to pick between Quiet on the Set or the Jinx, I think Quiet on the Set got. I think Quiet on the Set was really good. Jinx was really good too, but I think people might give it to Quiet on the Set.
Just because of I guess because of the reveal factor
Yeah,
of Drake.
yeah,
Not the rapper, but
yeah,
from
yeah,
Drake
yeah.
and
No, no,
Josh.
no, on me.
From him revealing everything that he went through, I think that's what you know took took the series or the documentary over the top
Yeah,
because nobody was expecting. I know they were saying they like kind of put it out there that somebody was going to be, oh, there's a superstar that's going to reveal that he had something happen to him on set, but we didn't know who it was until we watched it, and it was surprising, but not just hit the Drake situation, but also all the stuff that happened on that documentary. Just
absolutely. Yeah,
a revelation of from Dan Snyder and his 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 era of terror, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? His reign of
Mhm.
terror. He come doing what he did to those female writers and some of the actresses. You know what I'm saying? Actors and actresses, how he treated them. Those kids and when they were kids, and it was just bad. And then some of the people on the set end up being pedophiles. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it was just all bad. It was
No,
all bad.
absolutely, absolutely. I think documentaries as a whole have been one of the more must see things on to watch. I think what I mean, more so than certain television aspects. But hey, man, I don't know how much of the Emmys I'm gonna watch when they are when they are live. You know what I mean? I'm not really too much of a award show guy, but I do like to see the nominations just to see who they recognize off of the stuff I did watch, and if my feelings were correctly portrayed amongst others, you know what I mean, in a sense, just kind of validating some people's thoughts and how they viewed certain things. But you know what? Congratulations to everybody that got nominated, man. I think that's just big in itself, to get nominated for an Emmy. And congratulations whoever wins, man. I'm sure we'll kind of go over it once they announce the winners and stuff on a future episode.
Yeah, for sure. We usually don't do politics on this show, but I felt the need that we had to talk about this. Biden quits the election pretty much. He's gonna finish out his term and he's
Mhm.
gonna bow out and give it to Kamala Harris. And Kamala Harris is going to run for the Democratic Party.
Yeah,
I don't know who her running mate is, and I know they speculated that senator from like Pennsylvania or something like that.
Josh
But
Shapiro. Yeah, Josh
yeah.
Shapiro. Yeah. Mhm.
Um, But like I said, I don't do politics. I'm not the big politic guy because my stance is they gonna do whatever they gonna want to do anyway, regardless if I vote for them or not. But they gonna do
Mhm.
whatever they gonna do. Um, but do you think it's the right move? Do you think this is a strategy from the Democratic Party? What do you think, sir?
All right, I'm gonna try not to get us in trouble at all. Look, I don't like to talk politics on the light because it could be a triggering subject for a lot of people, especially in today's climate. But I'll say this: I don't even like using the word term quit. I think Biden did what was right. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people are trying to clown on him in the sense of just what he's going on. We gotta recognize this man is, he's not well. He's an older gentleman. We gotta appreciate that he was able to step aside. Most politicians, I believe, wouldn't even do that. I don't think Donald Trump would do that. I think a lot of these politicians wouldn't do that. I think they would look at themselves because they're in the spotlight whether they win or lose. You know what I'm saying? So I think we got to commend Biden for, and it might have took him a while. You know what I mean? If you really read on the back end through a lot of these news analysts who watch, go over all these elections and stuff like that, they've been said it's been kind of hard to convince Biden to quit, but he did it. I think it's in the benefit for a lot of people as voters. I think it's benefit for us because at the end of the day, we all knew what we saw in the debate. I know a lot of people were kind of saying that the assassination attempt on Trump was the key for him getting the win. No, it was the debate that we all saw when we saw Biden couldn't put sentences together, where he couldn't have proper thoughts and stuff like that. We just saw the age in him, and I think that was the big key. If it is Kamala, I know it's not official yet, but it seems like it's going to be her. Congratulations to her, man. We finally get a young candidate. A lot of people have already started, to start doing their whole hate Kamala thing with, you seeing politicians calling her a whore. You got, people saying that she ain't black and this and that. And I'm not going to go too deep into that. I got my personal feelings about that situation. I think certain people are ignorant as hell. I think certain people that, want to vote for Trump, what I mean? God bless you. If you believe that he's going to do what he's going to do for you, I think you're a fool, but that's just me. I have my own feelings on the whole political thing. I think a lot of people should be more independent. Instead of just coinciding with whether they're Republican or Democratic. We've seen it from both sides that they have false promises, man. And as a black man that lives in America, we've seen that our vote is becoming non-influential in some aspects. You know what I'm saying? So with the Spanish vote becoming more popular, obviously the white vote has power, Jewish vote has power, Asian vote has power. Ours has diminished. We have to acknowledge that, and I think as black people, we have to hold our votes hostage in a sense to the right person that's gonna do right by us. In a sense, you know what I mean? Every race does it, bro. This is the reality of it, and I'm not a fan. I was never a fan of both of these candidates, me personally. But not to ramble on, man. I think people got to give Kamala a fair shot. You know what I mean? I know people like to bring up her past, but I don't think she'll be bad. You know what I mean? She can't be no worse than what these two are giving us right now in present moment. So if you're gonna call her a whore, but yeah, you're gonna sit here and vote for somebody who's a known racist, who's a known scammer, who's a known sexual abuser, who's a known person who fantasizes about their daughter, shit like that. God bless you, bro. You know what I mean? It's just gonna be an interesting election year, and that's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I don't do politics, man. So if Kamala Harris is the one that they're champion, I'm gonna see what she's talking about. You know what I'm saying? I give her a chance to see. And she is younger than Biden, so she'll be more competent as far as the debates go. Um, I think that Trump don't really want. I don't think Trump wants to debate her. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't think so. I think his whole campaign was hoping that Biden would stay in, because at the end of the day, if Biden was still on the ticket, Trump will be our next president. I think you see the swarm of support. I find it a little surprising. I didn't think it was going to be as fast, but you see a lot of Democratic parties supporting her. I saw the Latino caucus or whatever they're called. They're donating, I think, over $30 million. I think she's been donated almost $100 million in the span of 24 hours. So you see the majority of support going behind Kamala. You see a lot of these other politicians who had the opportunities to join the race in the Democratic convention to be put on the ballot to be on the Democratic president candidate. They're supporting Kamala. I think another big situation with her is finding her running mate. I'm not mad at Josh Shapiro. I know they were talking about maybe I forgot the gentleman's name in Arizona, but they were talking about him as well. I know they were talking about the lady in Michigan as well, I believe. So we'll see on that, but just give her a fair shot. You know what I mean? I get a lot of people are going to try to put whatever their beliefs that they had on Biden on her. I don't think that's fair. I guess she was her running mate, but I do believe she has her own mind of her own. She has to back the person that she was running with. So maybe there were some disagreements on the back end that she wants to push her agenda on for her running. But give her a fair shot. You know, they have 4 months. This is unprecedented. We haven't seen anything like this. I think this has probably been one of the more interesting 6 weeks, I would say, in that I've been alive for presidential races, with the assassination, the Biden debate, and now this situation. So I wouldn't expect anything less for the next 4 months, but some certain spectacles and certain moments that are going to happen. So we shall see, man. I advise everybody to vote for what you believe in politics. I think votes matter and votes count. So, um, God bless everybody, man, and let's hope that our country can just get back to some kind of normalcy here and some sense of having direction and power, where we can be proud of the country that we live in and hold our heads up high, man. Whoever represents us.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, man. Let's talk a little boxing, bro.
Yeah, let's do it.
Now, there's word on the street that Lomachenko is pulling out of the fight. Man, his manager says that he doesn't want to fight right now. He wants to be with his family, and he'll fight Tank next year. Which poses the question: what's next for Tank? And is Lomachenko a duck?
Um, I said it. I think this is insane. Why Loma is not fighting Tank at this particular time. He took a break after the war situation that he had with Ukraine, which we all respected. We all know what's up. We respect that. You know what I mean? You're fighting for your country. We salute that. Like we can't do anything about that. But I think at this moment in time in his career, we know that he's at the tail end of his career. You're not going to have opportunities like this. You're not going to have the momentum like this like you used to. So I think right now, look, if you want to take the break, take it after the Tank fight. You're gonna make so much money off of this fight just by the hype alone. It'll probably be the biggest fight to end the year. I think it would be bigger than a Fury Usyk rematch or anything like that. So I just think it sucks, man, that we're not going to get the opportunity to see a fight like that, because I would have loved to see the styles, especially with Loma's foot movement, hand speed. I think he's still quick with Tank's power and quickness. You know what I mean? Like, could Tank, which we all think that Tank would eventually win the fight, but I think it would have been a fun watch to see, because Loma doesn't put on any bullshit fights. They're all exciting fights for me personally, and we all know Tank. We all know what Tank can do. So I just think the styles of fights would have been really, really appealing to the eye for a pay-per-view fight. But it's sad that we're not going to get it, because God bless him. It's his right to make this choice. Like, I'm not going to beat him up completely, but I think it's just insane. Like, I think he should have took the fight and then take whatever break, retire after the fight. Do whatever you want after that. But I think moments like this come around once in a blue moon, especially the buildup that this fight could have had. But we're not going to get that. Now, obviously, we're starting to hear rumors about Tank versus Shakur. If that's the route we're going to go, fuck it, let's go. You know what I mean? Shakur has been on this rampage that he's the best, no matter how he, he's obviously shown his last couple fights have been up and down as far as like people's approval, non-approval, whatever. We talked about it to nauseam. We're not going to keep going over it. But if that's the fight we're going to get, don't tease it. Just make it happen. You've seen Shakur Stevenson tweet the phone emoji that, you got, my phone, my number's locked in your phone, whatever the fuck that may mean. Make it happen. Shakur, I don't want to hear shit about numbers. Tank, like, we know he's going to be the bigger purse. You're going to get the bigger sides of the purse at this particular time. So if Tank comes to you and like, yo, you're going to take 30-70, Shakur, take that shit. If you want to be the best boxer right now, you know you don't deserve 60-40. You don't deserve 50-50. You barely deserve 70-30 right now, just by your perception of your name right now. That's the reality of it. So, Shakur, you really want the fight? You really want to fight the best? Here's your opportunity. Make it happen. And then put your best foot forward. Let's see your best. This is the best fight you can get right now. It's not William Zepeda. It's not Isaac Cruz. It goes the same for Tank. Go ahead, fight Shakur. This is what we want to see. Make it happen.
Yeah. As far as Lomachenko goes, I agree with you, man. I mean, look, I don't know his family situation. I don't know what's going on over there. Maybe he, wants to be in his son. I know he has a son, so I know he probably want to be in his life right now. But I agree with you. This is a big fight. You know what I'm saying? You end the year off with a fight against Tank. If he gets you, you can retire. You know what I'm saying? On top with a lot of money in your bank account. But for whatever reason, if he wants to be with his family right now, then he has his right. As far as Tank goes, you better not fight no damn Williams Zepeda or no damn Isaac Cruz in a rematch. I don't want to see that shit, man. I don't.
No,
I don't want to see it. Sorry.
no.
I want to see you and Shakur. Let's go. And Shakur, shut up and just put your head down. Let the grown folks that handle that business, let them handle that business. Take what they gonna give you and go in there and show that you the best, man. You know what I'm saying? It's time to put up or shut up. Tank's gonna bring it out of you. He's gonna apply that pressure that you said you claim that if you get that type of pressure and that type of heat, it's gonna bring the best boxer out of you. Well, let's see it. Let's do it. No, it's not gonna do good pay per view numbers because your name is mud right now,
Mm-hmm.
and people are gonna look at it like, "Oh, Tank gonna knock him out." But if you prove them wrong, you're being boxing superstar.
I ain't gonna lie. I low key think the numbers will be better than a lot of people think. I think they would. I because with the Tank Shakur name, and I get it. Shakur's name is in the mud right now, just with watchability. It's not even so much his skill; it's more watchability. People are gonna watch this because of Tank, even though the Tank numbers in his last pay per view really didn't do too good. But I think there will be. I'm not saying they're gonna be like a million, but I think they'll be better. I think people will probably project it to be like what, like 200, maybe 200, 250, maybe three. You know what I mean?
I
But
think what could sell the fight is the press conferences because
absolutely.
Tank gonna talk shit. Frank wasn't ready for all that. Like Frank ain't a shit talker. That's just not his style. And so he looked flustered every time Tank says something. Shakur ain't gonna get flustered. He gonna talk shit right back to Tank, and it's gonna go back. They gonna go back and forth. It's gonna be almost gonna be some on the same level, kind of as Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, but that's their shit talking was not as
No, no, no,
like
no.
you never thought
Be
anybody was
better. I
gonna
think
get
this will
hurt.
be better. This will be better. I think we both know it. We both know it. Tank alone
Hmm.
can get the press conferences at the right peak. But I think it goes as we both agree. I think both of them need to make this fight. I think at this point, um, there's nothing else we want to see because of the different situations that they're both in. With Tank, it's not really too much left as far as within this weight class that he can prove unless he decides to move up or if anyway decides to come up to him in a sense.
Uh,
Um, Shakur Stevenson has talked all this mess that he can compete with the Tiafimos, the Tanks, and the Lomas, and all these people have been running away from him. All right, Tank's trainer has literally said they may focus on you next. Make it happen. Rehydration clause, take that shit. 30-70, take that shit. If the fight's in his fucking backyard, take that shit. Who cares? Prove a point. You have no leeway at all. As Shakur Stevenson, you have no leeway at all in contract negotiations. I'm sorry. It is what it is. You, sir, have to. Tank don't have to prove shit. Let's be honest. Tank don't got to prove anything to us. If he fights William Zepeda, he gonna sell out the arena. Maybe the pay per view numbers may not be great. Maybe me and you may not like it in the sense as far as like the anticipation of it, the finality of what could be and what can possibly happen. It may not be what we want, but at the end of the day, it's still going to get recognized as Tank being Tank, and we're going to get a show. For Shakur Stevenson, this could be the best situation for you for where you're at in your career. I think me and Chris can both attest to this right now, brother. Just take it, bro. Figure it out. Make it happen. I agree with you. Let the grown-ups figure out the table shit. And whatever Gervonta presents to you, and you are willing to take, because it could be a positive thing for you in the sense like I accept everything you want. And then if Tank pulls out, that's on him. Then the perception of you can look different because all right, he's trying to prove himself to everybody else. He's trying to take the big fight. Yeah, maybe his fights are boring right now, but that could take a lot of that heat of your performances the past couple fights away because now you've literally accepted every fucking term that Tank has provided to you. And you know what? He should make it as public as possible how the negotiations are going. You know what I mean? Because Tank can flip it any way. He can change kind of the perception on how the negotiations is going. If I'm Shakur, I'm like, look, yo, he has this on the table. I accept everything you're going to ask me for. I know you're going to ask for a rehydration clause. I know you're going to ask for a majority of the split. You're gonna want to choose the venue. You're gonna want to choose the date. You're gonna want to choose the time. You're gonna want to choose the color of my shoes, the boxing glove weight, the size of the ring. I accept whatever you want. I don't care. Hell, nigga, you could pick my fucking trainer. I don't give a fuck. I want to whoop your ass in this ring. Ain't nothing gonna stop me from going in this ring and whooping your ass. Why? Just do that. Am I wrong, Chris? You think he should do that or not?
No, I agree. You know, you need to go in there and accept the terms. Now, look, I ain't sitting there saying you should get, a 360 deal or something like that.
No, not at all. But
make you a little money.
But if it's like 35, 65, take it, bro. Just take it, bro. Just take it.
Yeah, I think he should take it. Look, man, it's all about greatness right now, man. You got to show that you're great. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't want and hey, whoever gonna make this fight, whatever promoter, whether it be Eddie Hearns or whoever, put Frank Martin and Keyshawn Davis on the card. I'm just saying.
Do that. Yo, if you gotta get the Prince, if you gotta get that Prince to get involved in negotiation talks, make it happen. Put him a part of the program. If you got to get that shit to get it done, put Keyshawn and Frank Martin on that. Put what's my man's name that just fought? What's his name? What's my man's name that just fought on the undercard for Shakur Stevenson? The young cat.
Oh, Mason Abdul.
Put him on that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Do the same shit that Terrence Crawford doing right now. Get some buzz. Because this can do nothing but help him. Even let's say Shakur even loses to Tank, but he puts on a great show, respectable. Like he gave Tank the toughest fight, went 12 rounds, and he just lost by judge's decision type shit. But he gave him that work. That can help his career too. You know what I mean? This is the biggest opportunity he's gonna get. Name another fighter who can give him the biggest opportunity, unless if Anyway decides. As I said, Anyway is the only one that can move up and give any kind of buzz to anything at this particular time. Teofimo, he can. That buzz will be there, but not to the likes of those two. It's not going to happen. So
it looks like Teofimo might be fighting at 147 anyway. So.
Yeah. So
yeah, man, let's make the fight happen, man. I'm with it.
What's the percentage you think we get that fight?
Right now, I'm gonna say 35%.
I get that shit 15. I give it 15. I got to see to believe that shit. These one of the fights I got to see it to believe. Like they got to be at the press conference. This is like the same thing with Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. I ain't believing until I saw that press conference and them two motherfuckers walk the fuck out. That's when I'll believe this fight will happen. So right now it's 15, but we'll see. Weeks will tell.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's talk a little wrestling, man.
Yeah, come on, man. Give us some news, man. What's going on? SummerSlam's 2 weeks away? Yeah. Tell us. I know we ain't talked about WWE in a while, so you got to refresh us, man. What's been going on in WWE? What's the storylines? What matches do we got to look forward to? We're not going to do any predictions. We'll wait till the week of, but just kind of give us a recap on what's been going
on. Okay. Well, let's start with Raw. You got Sami Zayn. He is the Intercontinental Champion right now, and he's been having his beef with Braun Breaker. He's actually Rick Steiner and Scott. He's Rick Steiner's son, Scott Steiner's nephew. Mm-hmm. A beast. The kid is a beast. He lost to Sami Zayn clean at Money in the Bank. But he's been wrecking shop ever since. And I think he's going to beat Sammy. Well, let me stop. But I ain't supposed to do no predictions. But they're setting that up for SummerSlam, him and Sammy. Then you have Damian Priest, who is the world champion. He's going to be facing Gunther. Gunther won the King of the Ring, so he automatically get a championship shot. He chose Damian Priest. So they'll be fighting at SummerSlam. You can see right now because Damian Priest is part of a faction called Judgment Day. That's him, Finn Balor, Mysterio, Rhea Ripley, and I forgot dude's name, and Carlito. Um, I think that because you can see it, Damian Priest is starting to become more of a baby face, even though they're a heel faction. People are starting to cheer for him. He's starting to act more like a baby face.
Hmm.
Um, so I could see a scenario where Finn is going to start turning on him because they've kind of teased it, here and there. But eventually, I think Finn turns on Damian Priest. Um, then you have Rhea Ripley. She's supposed to be facing Liv Morgan. It's been a little bit. She's been out with an injury. She just came back like 2 weeks ago on Monday Night Raw. Um, since she's been out because got injured by Liv Morgan. That's the storyline. She was already hurt, of course, in real life, but she had a shoulder injury and she had to get healed up. So Liv has been like messing with Dominic Mysterio, like doing
Mm.
all kinds of freaky stuff to him. And
Yeah, I seen some
yeah,
video
so
clips. Yeah.
yeah. So she came back and Rhea wasn't happy about it. Um, but Dom had been trying to convince her that like, it's not like that. And we'll see. We'll see at SummerSlam. They'll be facing each other at SummerSlam, Liv versus Rhea Ripley. Then you have Chad Gable. He is the leader of a faction called Alpha Academy. Uh,
Hmm.
well, Bray Wyatt's brother, um, what's his name? Bo. He Bo. What's his name? I can't believe I forget. Bo Dallas. Um, he's come back. More of in that Bray Wyatt, um, scary, spooky.
Yeah, I saw that. That shit was
Um,
fire. They all came out. It was like four of them, right?
yes. Well, six. It's called. They're called the Wyatt Six.
Why
Um,
six?
it's Eric Rowan. He was part of the original Wyatt family with Bray Wyatt. Um, he also is Joe Gacy. He's coming from NXT. He's kind of got that Charles Manson type feel to him. Dexter Loomis, who was like this crazy dude. He didn't really have no personality. He's like a psychopath. And then you have Nikki Cross, who was just like this crazy lunatic female who just does crazy stuff. So they're all coming together to be part of the Y6. There's only 5 members, so there's obviously another member probably going to be coming soon. But they've been messing with Chad Gable because Chad has been he's kind of been a dickhead towards his own people. Otis, um, what's her name, Maxine, and Tozawa. He's been kind of treating them like trash. It looks like he's starting to recruit a new Alpha Academy with the Creed brothers. And then they have a girl named Ivy. They're more like big, strong, tough guys, and
Yeah, yeah,
she's a
yeah.
big muscle girl, whatever. And her
Mhm.
and Maxine are actually supposed to be really cool. But I do feel like the eventual turn is going to happen. Ivy's going to turn on Maxine, and they're going to be the new Alpha Academy. I do think that's going to be a match at SummerSlam. Members of the Wide Six versus American Alpha America Academy. So we'll see that. On SmackDown, it's been pretty much Bloodline beating everybody up.
Mhm.
Bloodline 2.0. Solo Sokoa has now is the tribal chief. Now that Roman Reigns has went away after his loss to Cody Rhodes. Cody is, the champion. Him and Randy and Kevin Owens have been kind of like this new little crew. If people don't know, Randy and Cody are actually really close in real life because when Cody was coming up, he was part of Randy's faction with Ted DiBiase Jr. Um, Now Randy's like, and you can see the seed is being planted with Randy because he's putting emphasis on you, my brother. I got your back, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
and you could just see eventually he's gonna have that RKO come out of nowhere and turn on Cody. So they planting the seeds, or they might put a swerve, or maybe Cody turns on him. I don't know. Um, But yeah, the bloodline has just been beating up everybody. You got the Tonga brothers, God. They came from New Japan. They're part of the that Samoan family. They're Haku's sons, actually. Um, People don't know who Haku was. He was a big time wrestler in the 80s and 90s. He was Ming in WWE.
Yeah.
He used to hang out with Ted DiBiase. Actually, he was his like bodyguard or whatever. But he's there. They're his sons, and then you have the real beast, Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu. Let me tell you something. Jacob Fatu is the real deal. That dude, he's probably what 6'2", 6'3", but man can do it all. Flip off the top rope, he can slam you anywhere, like, and you know what I'm saying. He is a true hood Samoan.
Hmm.
Man, I saw a documentary, dude. He smoked cigarettes and drinking Hennessy. he, he's real. But no, he's a beast, man. He's coming in just wreaking terror. He didn't slam Kevin Owens through tables. They slammed Cody through a table. Like
Yeah.
they just beating everybody up. But the speculation is Roman Reigns is going to come back soon. Um, I think Jimmy Uso will come back soon too. They're just setting the stage so we can have Bloodline for original Bloodline versus Bloodline 2.0.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that shapes up. Solo Sokola is actually facing Cody for the title at SummerSlam, so that'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Hmm.
For the women's title, you have Nia Jax versus Bailey. Um, that's going to be a good match. It's interesting. There's a storyline there because in 2017, Nia Jax actually, in real life, hurt Bailey when she was about to have a title run, and she was out for a year. She tore her ACL.
Yeah.
Um, so now that Bailey's the champion, that's kind of what the storyline they've been going with. It's always been said that Nia Jax is reckless and she's clumsy, and she does. But now that she's come back, you could tell that she's cleaned a lot of that up. She's actually
Yeah.
really good matches. Um, but it's the David Goliath storyline. Even though Bailey is one of the better women wrestlers out there, she's smaller than Nia Jax, and so Nia
Hmm.
Jax, she's a thicker woman, so she's gonna be dominant in that ring. But that'll be an interesting match to see. That's really the only thing I got right now as far as because SmackDown hasn't really been as a great. Oh, LA Knight versus Logan Paul for the US
Okay.
title that's been set
Okay.
up last week. Um, it's about time LA Knight gets a belt. He's over. He
Yeah.
can't be no more over, and they got to strike while the iron is hot with him because
Hmm.
fans will start getting tired if you don't pull the trigger. And it's time to pull the trigger on LA Knight. Man.
Yeah.
He's too good. He's too
Yeah.
good. So, yeah, but yeah, that's the only really thing that's really going on right now. I just heard that uh, Bobby Lashley looked like he's leaving
Yeah.
WWE.
I kept seeing him pop up on my feeds.
Yeah.
What is he retiring or something, or going to another
No,
company?
no. I just think that Bobby Lashley and look, we all know the WWE. They pick and choose what brothers they want to use and who they want to give a push to. Um, it took Kofi damn near 12, 13 years, and it was by mistake that he was even in a match for him to even get the him being over and getting the title push that he got. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Um, if it wasn't for Mustafa Ali for getting hurt, Kofi would have never been champion. Um, so I think Bobby Lashley just has a bad taste because they had before the Bloodline. There was a faction called the Hurt Business. It was Bobby Lashley as the leader. He was what Roman Reigns was. MVP. He was what Paul Heyman was, the Wise Man. Then you had Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. Um, and then you had then they added Almost. Almost was like the big 7 foot tall big dude, whatever. He's like
Hmm.
4 so, and they was doing their thing, and then Vince McMahon just kind of like pulled the rug from them and just was like had them turn on each other, and it was over.
Yeah.
Like it didn't even last that long, maybe lasted a month. And So the rumor is they might be trying to go to AEW because Shelton Benjamin is a free agent right now, and then Bobby and MVP contracts are coming up for WWE, and the word is they might want to go sign with AEW and try to do the Hurt Business faction over there, which it'll be interesting. Hopefully, Tony will book them right. If I have a suggestion, if they do go to AEW and do a Hurt Business faction over there, please add Will Hobbs. Will Hobbs was made for the Hurt Business. That's
Mm.
all I had to say about that. But yeah, man, that's SummerSlam in a nutshell. I can't really think of nothing else that's really interesting as far as matches goes. I think I covered everything. So yeah. Oh, how can I forget one of the biggest matches that's gonna be on there? Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They've been going back and forth since WrestleMania, uh, getting one up on each other, and they're finally gonna get their match at SummerSlam. I honestly don't know who's gonna win that match either. I really don't.
They say what kind of match it is. It's just a regular one on one.
Just a regular one-on-one match. I think that something's gonna happen because Seth Rollins is kind of involved in this too because CM Punk kind of messed him over too.
Yeah.
Um, so and there was real beef kind of with those two too. So I have a feeling Seth's gonna do something to mess it up, and then that Bad Blood because they have already announced in October there's gonna be another pay per view called Bad Blood, and I think a lot of matches, whatever happens to SummerSlam, a lot of those matches will get rematches or whatever will get on Bad Blood. So
So what's your hype level for this SummerSlam coming up?
I'm about an eight. I'm at
Hey.
eight. I'm at eight. I think it's gonna be a good pay per view. Money in the Bank was kind of okay. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that great.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't like the direction of the Money in the Bank. They they thought somebody else should have won it, not Drew. Because Drew won, then he cashed it in, and CM Punk screwed him, and so that
Yeah.
was like the quickest person to have the Money in the Bank and not at least last a year. Because usually Money in the Bank lasts a year,
Mhm.
and then they maybe cash it in at WrestleMania or whatever. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
So
We'll see.
what do you think of? I saw that SummerSlam is going to have its first 2 day
Mhm.
um thing. How you feel about that? Them going like the WrestleMania route where they're having 2 days, splitting it up.
I'm not mad at it. I mean, I get it. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to have a 8 hour pay per view and then your crowd gets tired and
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah, for sure.
they're gonna be up early,
Mhm.
for some of the earlier matches, and then by the time your main event comes, it's just kind of like, all right, we tired, man. Like
Yeah.
our energy is low. So I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at
I
it.
think I think from the outside looking in, I think it's amazing for them because if you can break it up into 2 days, that's more money for you. I think it's more buzz on that in a sense because you have just the clamoring for it. I guess you know what I'm saying. So um, I'm gonna watch SummerSlam. I haven't watched. I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't watched anything. I watched a couple Raws and stuff like that, but I haven't watched any pay per views since that WrestleMania. But I'm gonna check out the SummerSlam, see what's up, and check it out. Where's the SummerSlam at this year?
Cleveland.
Cleveland, for sure.
Mhm.
Looking forward to it.
Yep, it's in Cleveland. But yeah, man, it should be a good pay per view, man. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it all. All right, man. Let's talk about the NFC West, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
Uh, all right, man. Let's talk about the Arizona Cardinals. They added wide receiver Zay Jones. They added defensive line Justin Jones. They added defensive lineman. What's his name? What is that? I can't read that. Cornerback Sean Murphy Bunton. Center Evan Brown. Quarterback they traded for Desmond Ritter, and left tackle Jonah Williams. They lost Hollywood Brown. They lost wide receiver Rondé Moore. They lost linebacker Zeke Turner, cornerback Antonio Hamilton, and defensive line Kiki Fatu. And
Mm-hmm.
then they drafted wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. at Ohio State. Defensive end Darius Robinson at Mizzou. Cornerback Max Melton at Rutgers. Running back Trey Benson at Florida State. Guard Isaiah Adams at Illinois. Tight end Tip Redmond at Illinois. Cornerback Elijah Jones at Boston College. They had a lot of picks. Safety Darian Taylor at what is that, Texas Tech. Offensive lineman Christian Jones out of Texas. Wide receiver Tashawn Palmer at UAB. And
Yeah.
then cornerback Jaden Davis.
Dang.
Yeah, they had a lot of picks, bro. They had like 10
Nah,
picks.
that's crazy. That's insane. Might be a third of their goddamn team.
Yeah, for real. Um, as far as they're gonna be the last team in this division. They're in rebuild mode. They got a lot of young pieces. Um, Building the foundation with Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. will be important. Um, Also, adding some of these defensive pieces, that they drafted. Max Melton, who I like coming out. He's going to be instrumental in this cornerback room. Trey
Yeah.
Benson, their running back, he should get some good run. He's a speedy type running back, can do it all. Um, Darius Robinson, defensive end at Mizzou, he's going to be a good edge rusher for them. He was
Mhm.
pretty good at Mizzou, so he should be good in the league. Elijah Jones, another cornerback that's really good. Tip Redmond, I like Tip Redmond, tight end. He should get room. Him and I think Trey McBride is on this squad, but him and Trey McBride should be all right, at that tight end position.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, I just think that they're a couple years behind before they could even compete in this division. Maybe a year, I don't know, but yeah, just building a foundation with Kyler Murray and some of these pieces that they picked up through free agency and the draft is going to be important. But I got Arizona finishing last in this division.
Now, look, I don't have the Arizona Cardinals competing for the division, but I think they're going to be in a lot of close games. I think even you can even look at it last year. I think they were in way more of their games once they got Kyler Murray back. You started seeing the explosiveness coming out of him. Plus, he it was still his first year, coming out of the ACL. So I expect Kyler Murray to be a lot better. I think that connection between him and Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be really huge. I think that'll help Marvin Harrison compete. I think for a Rookie of the Year kind of slot, maybe Rookie Offensive of the Year type of position. I like the Zay Jones. Him being on the other side, Zay Jones is a really good wide receiver as well. James Conner, you're still going to get the bruising back, as you said. Trey Benson. Desmond Ritter pickup, I think it's nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't expect much from Desmond Ritter, but look, I think this offense is going to be ahead of this defense. Me personally, I think they still have a lot of holes on this defensive side. Like, you still got Buda Baker and, a couple of other players that you kind of mentioned. But look, they're rebuilding the youth. I think they will be competitive in games. They may not be able to finish it. I don't think they're going to be competing for the division this year. But I could see them maybe in the next year or two, them kind of sliding themselves into be a really sneaky good team in a sense where they might come out of the woodworks one of these years that we don't expect, and them, kind of competing for a division and a playoff spot. So I think they're just kind of in that realm. But give them time, man. Kyler Murray's still really young, and I said you just got Marvin Harrison Jr. and some of these other players that they got out the draft, Paris Johnson Jr. and stuff like that. So
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's talk about the 49ers. They got defensive end Uta Gross Matos, defensive lineman Malik Collins, linebacker Devondre Campbell, tight end Logan Thomas, cornerback Rocky Sin, linebacker Zeke Turner. They got quarterback Joshua Dobbs and running back Chuba Herbert.
mhm.
They lost defensive lineman Eric Armstead, defensive end Randy Gregory, defensive end Chase Young. They lost quarterback Sam Darnold, defensive lineman Javon Kinglaw, quarterback Isaiah Oliver, defensive lineman Sebastian Joseph Day, linebacker Orion Burks, defensive lineman Clarence Farrell, and wide receiver Ray McLeod. They drafted wide receiver Ricky Purcell out of Florida, cornerback Ronaldo Green out of Florida State, offensive lineman Dominique Perry out of Kansas, Running back Isaac Grindle out of Louisville. Wide receiver Jacob Cowing out of Arizona. Offensive lineman Gerald Kingston out of USC. And linebacker Tatum of Bethune. Uh, but yeah, um, we all know the 49ers are the standard in this division. Um, there's some noise, with the Brandon Ayuk situation. That's going to always be a cloud over them. We'll see how that gets settled. Does he get traded? Does he not get traded? Also, Brock Purdy. This is his third year in on this team, on this offense, being the starting quarterback. Can he take that next step? Like, even though they went to the Super Bowl, but can he take that next level step and be the reason why they win? Not, be there and hold down the fort enough, but can he be the reason why they can win a close game and why he can, in the fourth quarter, a minute left, can you trust him to get it done? Like, can he be that guy? Can he get paid? Because that's initially what this is. Can he? Is he good enough to get that big contract? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So this is going to be a big year for Brock Purdy.
Mhm.
But other than that, and Kyle Shanahan, we've talked about it. The pressure is on. You got to win it now, man. You done been there twice, and you lost to the same team twice. And
Yeah. Yeah.
you had opportunities to beat that team in the game. So
Mhm.
you got to close the deal now, or I'm not sitting there saying you're going to get fired, but John Lynch might start looking like, I don't know, man. Are you the guy? Are you the
Yeah.
guy to get the job done? We put everything. We've done everything possible we can. We put all the pieces. We've gotten on the players. Top five, top three defenses, offensive pieces from Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Kittle. We got Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing more you can ask for. Like,
Mhm.
we built this team up for you to coach it and get us there, and you've gotten us there, but you haven't sealed the deal. So
Mhm.
it's time for them to seal the deal. But I got them winning this division.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it's not so much of him being fired. I think it's just more the perception of him as a coach. Like, perception of him as a coach. He has the big loss with the Falcons, with the Patriots coming back when they were down what 28-3 or something like that.
Yeah.
All the opportunities they had to make the championship game. They were in the NFC championship games. I think they lost two of those. You lost a couple of these Super Bowls to the same team. Like, it adds up. And then this team is getting older. Brock Purdy's contract is coming up. Brandon Ayuk and Debo Samuel may not be here. That combo may not be here by the start of training camp, and they for sure ain't gonna be here by next year. One of those two are gonna be gone. That's not including Dre Greenlaw. When's he coming back? Hufanga, when's he gonna be able to come back and be back to form from that ACL injury? You got
Right.
Tavarius Ward. He's going into camp questionable. You got Ricky Pearsall. He's the rookie wide receiver they got. He's out. I don't know for what, but they got him out right now on the non-injured reserve list. So there are questions. They are deep. You still have Fred Warner. You still have some of the great talents in George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey and all that. But we gotta look at it. Christian McCaffrey's getting older. This is an older team. So this is a win now team. This could literally be their last year. Now, I do believe that Kyle Shanahan is a really good coach. I think we both can attest to that. It's just for some reason he just can't find the couple things to get them over the hump, or for this team to find the confidence in them to be able to perform, because they could perform round one, round two. We seen it in the NFC Championship game. Even the games that they lost, they were competitive. It's something about the Super Bowl. I don't know what it is, where they just come out and they just aren't who we've seen for the past 5 months of the whole season. This team has been one of the more dominant teams we have seen for the past 5 years. So, and then you could really attest that they should have beat this Chiefs team twice. Twice.
Yeah.
They were up in the fourth quarter both times, and they still couldn't finish. So that's the team they gotta hang their hat on. So if this team has to be the most motivated team to finally win a championship, it has to be. There's no team that should have more motivation than this team to win now, especially with the Brock Purdy contract coming up, because that's going to take away from your cap space. You're not going to be as deep of a team that you are currently. unless the Brock Purdy is somehow going to be nice and give y'all kind of like a hometown discount, which I don't expect, but you never know. So I still have the 49ers competing for this division. They're going to be one of the better teams in the NFC, depending on how fast they can get some of these players back. But it's going to be interesting, especially with the Brandon Ayuk trade speculation. How is that going to go? If they lose him, I think the perception of this team changes a little bit because the combination of Debo and Brandon Ayuk is big. You know what I mean? I think it helps open a lot of holes up for Christian McCaffrey. Not saying he couldn't get through those holes anyway. We saw him doing it with the Carolina Panthers with the weapons that they had. But it does help to have that a type of player like that brings explosiveness to the deep end of the ball. So
Yeah, I agree. All right, man. Let's talk about the Seattle Seahawks. They traded for quarterback Sam Howell. They got safety Kevon Wallace, defensive lineman Jonathan Hankins, wide receiver LaVisca Chenault, tight end George Fant, center Nick Harris, and tackle Tremaine Atram. They lost defensive lineman Mario Edwards Jr., guard Damian Lewis, center Evan Brown, linebacker Devin Bush, linebacker Bobby Wagner, tight end Will Disley, quarterback Drew Lock, linebacker Jordan Brooks, and running back DJ Dallas. They drafted defensive lineman Brian Murphy out of Texas, guard Christian Haynes out of UConn, linebacker Tyrese Knight out of UTEP, tight end AJ Barner out of Michigan, cornerback Nehemiah Pruchett out of Auburn, tight end Satay Lamine out of Utah, quarterback DJ James out of Auburn, and tackle Michael Jarrell. Seahawks. It's all about Geno Smith, man. Like, can Geno Smith be consistent? You got the weapons around you, bro. Still got DK. You still got Tyler Lockett. He took a pay cut to stay on the team. You got, well, actually, they gave him an extension. And then you got JSN year 2. Let's see what he can do. The defense has gotten a little bit better. They added some few pieces on there through the defense. I like the Byron Murphy pick. I think the kid can be special in that middle.
yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see. I think Seattle's probably the second. Well, no, they're probably fighting with the Rams for second in this division. But it's all about Geno Smith, man. And this also is his first year for Mark McDonald as the head coach. So we'll see how that goes. He probably got this defense, up and going. But what does that mean? What philosophy does that mean for the offense? Does it change? Does it benefit Geno Smith, or does it hinder him even more than what he already been hindered? So.
No, I really think the Seahawks can be one of the sneaky good teams in this division, low key. I think Mike McDonald can bring that same intensity he had with the Ravens defense and bring it over. I love the pieces with Devin Witherspoon. You brought up Brian Murphy, Jerron Reed, and some of these other and also like some of these like some of the players that they have are they're greatly talented. You know what I mean? But I agree. It comes down to what can you get from the quarterback position. Is it going to be Geno? Is it going to be Sam Howell? Even with Sam Howell, like we've seen glimpses of some of the great play that he can have, but he has some inconsistent play, just like Geno. So whatever they can get from, if they can just find some stability from that quarterback position, this team can scare any team in that division. It really can. So Kenneth Walker, he'll be back. He coming off an injury from last year, being hurt a little bit. Like I said, you still got Noah Fant. I think Noah Fant he's definitely one of the better tight ends that we have in the league. So, as I said, if they can get some, just some normalcy, some consistency from the quarterback play. Obviously, we do got to see Mike McDonald in his first year as a head coach and how that performs. But I do expect him to have this defense running in a way, in a direction where they're going to be one of the better defenses, from years down on the line, with some of the schemes that he can implement with this team.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Let's get up to the LA Rams now. They lost Aaron Donald. He retired. They added in free agency safety Cameron Curl, tight end Colby Parkinson,
Hmm.
uh, left guard Jahan Jackson, running back Boston Scott, cornerback Darius William, cornerback Travarius White, and they added quarterback Jimmy G. They lost safety Jordan Fuller, Jonah Williams, running back Royce Freeman, quarterback Carson Wentz, and center Coleman Shelton. They drafted edge rusher Jared Verse from Florida State, defensive lineman Brandon Fish from Florida State, running back Blake Corum out of Michigan, four Cameron Kitchens out of Miami, five Ed Brennan Jackson out of Washington State. You got Tyler Davis out of Clemson, uh, kicker Joshua Cartley out of Stanford, and wide receiver Jordan Whittington out of Texas. The Rams, they're interesting. They added some young pieces. This is life without Aaron Donald. We'll see how much that messes up their defense. They have Brian Young over there. He was coming on strong last year.
Hmm.
And then you added Jared Verse and the Brandon Fisk to this defensive line, two guys who already have chemistry with each other because they played in Florida State together.
Yeah.
But now you bring that over to the Rams, and it might be more so of a pass rush by committee now, not just depending on one guy like they
Hmm.
did for so long. Blake Corum is a good pickup at the running back spot. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts. Um, and we'll see. You know how I feel about Sean. What's his name? Sean. What's
McVay,
the heck? Yeah,
Sean
Sean
McVay,
McVay. You know how I feel about Sean McVay. I think he's one of the best coaches in this league. He gets the best
100%.
out of all his talent.
Hmm.
Matthew Stafford. It's all about health with him. Can he stay healthy?
Yeah.
Um, if he could stay relatively healthy, this team has a shot to possibly challenge the 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks for this division and make it to the playoffs. They made it to the playoffs last year. I think injuries kind of derailed them last year, but in the playoffs. But I think they have a good shot if they can stay healthy, man. I like the Rams to at least potentially make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think this team could be they could literally be the number one offense in the league. Let's not sleep on it. Like people forget how great Cooper Cup is because of Puka.
Mhm.
Cooper Cup was literally the best wide receiver, but with Puka and how he came up with Cooper Cup's injury and stuff like that, and how he came along, that 1-2 tandem is going to be nasty. Along with Tutu Atwell, Demarcus Robinson, you still got Tyler Higbee. Kyron Williams was one of the better running backs in the league last year. Consistently, you add Blake Corum, so with that depth, I think that's really good as well. Just got to see how this offensive line kind of holds up with Matthew Stafford. I do agree with you. I think the Matthew Stafford health is really the big key in all of this. Because you don't want to see Jimmy Garoppolo in that offense when he come back from suspension. That is one thing you do not want to see. And then on top of that, you got Stetson Bennett. He was going through his issues. So that's not really a big swarm of confidence with your backups in the quarterback position right there behind Matthew Stafford. So it's going to be really key for him. I'm curious to see how this defense looks with all this young talent without Aaron Donald. I don't care who you try to replace him with, unless if you get like a Max Crosby or Chris Jones, somebody in that category. It's going to be hard to replace the Aaron Donald. It just really is, unless one of these young talents just come through. So, Tre'Davious White, if he can stay healthy, I think that would be a big plug-in as far as like on their back end of the defense. But I do expect them to be competing with this division with the Seahawks and 49ers. I think this division is going to be one of the tougher divisions to get through. Even with the Arizona Cardinals, I don't expect them to, kind of like, compete for the division, but I do expect them to give these guys a tough game. You know what I mean? It's always close with these division rival games, especially in the NFC West. So man, should be a good season. Should be interesting.
Yeah, man, for sure, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be an interesting season for the Rams, man. And this division is probably the second best division in the NFL right now. They're always competitive. They're always going at each other. So
Yeah.
we shall see. We shall see. All right, man. You got anything else?
Well, I do got breaking news for you real quick. So breaking news: TNT plans to match Amazon's bid to fight for the NBA rights. So Warner Brothers Discovery is making a big play to keep NBA rights, telling the league that it will match Amazon's bid for a package of games. The company said in a statement Monday afternoon that it intends to match Amazon's bid, which is for about 1.8 billion per year. Warner Brothers did not mention Amazon by name, but a source says that it is targeting the package from the tech giant. So what are your thoughts about that?
Uh, they're trying to show face. I think. I don't think they do get anything done. No. I
Okay.
think it's. I think it's just. It is what it is, man. Let it go. It's all right.
All right, and then one more thing. Terrence Crawford has insisted that he'd rather fight Canelo Alvarez next than Jerome Bones Ennis. He quoted, "Where I'm at right now, I'm looking at the fight that makes the most sense, and that's not Boots. Canelo's going to bring way more to my legacy and way more to my bank account because at the end of the day, when boxing is done, what will we have? I would have a legacy that's something people talk about for ages, and I would have a bank account that will last for ages as well." So what are your thoughts about his statement on his potential fight with Canelo and Jerome Boots Ennis?
I mean, he's been consistent with it. He's been
Yeah.
said that Jerron Boots is just not in his league, and it's not who somebody he's looking to fight. He wants Canelo. We all know if you know Terrence Crawford, he wants a challenge, man, and he feels like Jerron Boots Ennis is not a challenge, regardless if you believe that or not. He's at a point in his career; he's not getting any younger. So he wants to go for the big money fight, and that's what it really is. He wants to get those big money fight. Of course, he feels like he could beat Canelo,
Hmm.
but at the same time, he knows Canelo represents a big paycheck. So
Yeah.
I think that's where Terrence Crawford is right now. He's trying to expand his brand because if he beat Canelo, now Crawford is gonna, really be known worldwide. So,
Yeah. I agree with you. I agree with you.
yeah. I was gonna ask you something. You see that Jordan Love's gonna be the next quarterback to get paid?
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of that, I know he's kind of holding out. Nah, we all kind of saw it. Like, I'm not surprised, man. Jordan Love deserves to get the payday. I'm kind of curious to see where the numbers finally lay at. I would assume something to get done by sometime this week. So I don't think he'll be out of camp that long. But congratulations to him. Let's see what the numbers are at to see what Dak Prescott's going to be asking for here
Yeah,
sometime later this year.
yeah,
What
we'll
you think
see.
the final number would be? Like 56, 57?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. All right, man. Let's do flowers. Who's your flowers of the week going to?
Oh, so I got a quick two. I'm gonna give a shout out to the WNBA All Star Game as a whole. Those ladies put on a really great show, and a lot of these other sports leagues and sports players that do participate in these other leagues, All Star games need to take account to what those ladies did. Shout out to Asia, shout out to Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Breonna Stewart, all those ladies. They put on a really great show. And then also shout out, just finally learned today that they are going to start making this new Spawn movie that I've been asking for a very long time. So that's very exciting news. I'm kind of curious to see how, the characters and cast and how that all goes. And hopefully we can get it within the next like 3 to 4 years. So that makes me really excited.
Yeah, I saw that King Spawn is going to be the
Yeah,
title.
King
So
Spawn. Yep.
we shall see, brothers. See how they do it. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Hopefully they
saying?
don't fuck it up like the Blade. You know what I mean?
Because I know Jamie Foxx was supposed to be playing Spawn.
Hey, let's see what happens. I think it's going to be under Bloomhouse, but I'm not really sure. But it looked like that, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. My flowers of the week go to the NFL. Baby, we back. Woo!
Training camp, baby. You back. This is the
We
last full
back.
week of football. Last full week.
Yeah, man. It's
We
been a
finally made it.
long time coming. And, my flowers go to all the football fans. We suffered long enough for this grueling summer and spring. It was a long run to get here, man, but we finally here. The pads come on Friday, and man, you should be happy right now. It's
Fantasy
exciting
football
time.
talk is back, back and running. Everybody's
Mm,
setting up their leagues now. I know we talked about the one league we're in. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Eventually, I would love to start a Cris Style and Mal podcast league. I think that would be pretty fire with the viewers and stuff like that. Hell, if we can get enough people to do it this year, maybe we might do it. So we'll see what's up.
Let's see. All right, man. Well, who's your hell no go to?
So my hell nah, this will be the first time in history that we have done this. I'm gonna give my hell nah to Cris Style, my partner in crime right here. He gets the big hell nah of the week, and people are watching. What Jamal? Why are you giving Cris Style a hell nah? He's your boy, right? Yeah, he is my boy. I got a lot of love for my guy. But let's call a spade a spade. This man should have more L's on his NCAA college football dynasty than what he claims to have. This motherfucker then quit the game when he know he had to lose to try to replay the bitch so he didn't get the loss. I gotta call my man out, man. That's
They was
dirty work.
cheating, man.
That's dirty work, my guy. Come
They was
on, man.
cheating.
Your record should be worse than what it is. So
No,
now
they
he's trying
was
to cheat
cheating.
the system. He's cheating the system.
I'm cheating what they was trying to do to me. Cheat me out of a win.
My man's cheating the system. He really believes he's the NCAA faction, cheating the game out of what we all love, the honesty, the true impacts of winning and losing games by hard work and dedication. He's not doing that. So he got to get the hell nah for me this week, man. All love though, but he got to get the hell nah.
Whatever, man. They was cheating on me, man. I don't care.
Okay.
Computer be cheating.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my hell no goes to Sebastian Teflar, man. My man's out here wilding on. Now, I don't know what it is about Vlad TV and why people get on Vlad TV and just feel like they got to just put all their business out there.
Yeah.
But they get on there and now you got disrespect a living legend. You know what I'm saying? Not living, but a legend in the game, in the sport of basketball, and Kobe Bryant. You disrespect him, regardless of what he did. Yes, was he cheating on his wife? Whatever. That wasn't your place to tell that story, sir, on Vlad TV. And then you say, "Oh, should I tell this story? Oh, Vanessa ain't gonna see this. She is gonna see this, fool, because they're gonna retweet it and put it out there until somebody puts it in her face."
Yeah.
And furthermore, not even just her, she's gonna see it. Her kids, their kids are gonna see that. They don't want to see that. So come on, Sebastian. I know you haven't been in the limelight. Your NBA career didn't work out for you, but you ain't had to go there, man. You really didn't have to go there. So you get a big hell no today, sir.
I totally agree.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your goddamn ugly ass on.
All right. Give a shout out to Glitch Energy.
Yeah, shout out to Glitch. Day one, man. They've been riding with us for a minute. So we got to give them a shout out. Glitch Energy Drink offers a wide range of delicious flavors to suit everyone's taste preferences, whether you're into fruity flavors like Maui Punch, Cherry Bomb, Blue Smurf, and grenades. There's something for everybody. Glitch Energy Drink is not only great for gamers and workout warriors, but also for everyday people who simply need a boost of energy. It's a healthy choice that you can feel good about. You can find more information and purchase Glitch Energy Drink at glitchenergy.com. Remember to use the promo code Cris Style Mal to get 10% off your purchases and start enjoying these great drinks, man. So shout out to Glitch. You see the promo code right there. Say that, bread. You know what to do.
Yeah, for sure. Whatever streaming platform you use to listen to your podcast on, the Cris Style and Mal podcast is available. whether it be on Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, iHeartRadio, whatever you listen to your podcast on. The Cris Style and Mal podcast is there. Go ahead and follow us. First time watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification button. So when we go live on Mondays at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you can jump in the lives with us. You can talk about some of these topics with us, man, because we want to get you guys' opinion on these topics that we talk about too. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel.
Absolutely.
And whatever social media platform you use, whether it be Twitter, X, or X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, Twitch, whatever you use to do your social media on, the Cris Style and Mal podcast is on there. Follow us. We will follow you back. We're just a known guys that like to talk sports, music, movies, all kinds of stuff, man. So go ahead and follow us, man. And also, if you got some critiques, some feedback, you know what I'm saying? You got a topic or a question that you want to send to us for us to talk about on the show. If we like the topic, we like the question, we will bring it up. We will shout you out on the show because we want to show love to those who show love to us. So go ahead and hit us up, whether it be on our DMs, our email, or in the mentions. We will get back to you as soon as we see it. So go ahead, man. Hit us up. All right, good people. Until Wednesday night, I hope you guys have a good rest of your Monday, Tuesday, and be safe out there. Till then, we out.